Well, I'm really proud of our guys because they came ready to play. They fought for 45 minutes. I mean, right from the get-go, they fought, competed. They stayed with things. When we got down, I thought this was really good on there. They bring it back, and I think, to my memory, Mason hit like whatever the score. We're down 7 or 6 or 8 or whatever it was, and we'd get down to 3 or something. We'd make a couple good plays. Boom, Mason hit 3. And I think it happened 3 different times. And for us to have their resilience, just keep going with that. But I think that game is a great indicator of how good our league is. Because George Mason, they've I've always said you got to be good and you got to get lucky, and they're good and they have not been lucky. Because if anyone has any eyesight whatsoever, they're well coached, they play hard, they got good athletes, they got good skilled guys, they play very unselfishly, and they got a very good basketball team. You know, the numbers don't show that in terms of what the thing is, but it's a long season, and so we feel great about it. And I just think that our guys did a good job throughout. I told them with 4 minutes to get, I don't even know, we were down, I'm sure. But I was proud of them because they're fighting, they're competing. All you can do is do your best, you know, and it ended up working out good from a positive standpoint in terms of win, but if it didn't, I'd be saying the same thing. They fought and they competed, and that's where it's at. I mean, they ate us up on the boards the second half. I mean, they were crushing us on the boards, but our guys did good. Anybody got a question?
You were saying yesterday how George Mason was 0-6, but could have been 5-1.
No, you might believe me.
I was saying, you got to hate it when you're right, don't you?
Well, I knew I was right. I don't care if we won by 20 today. I knew I was right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we study it. I mean, you know, everyone else just looks at records. I mean, we study the film. I mean, we watch the end of it, you know, just like every other coach in America. And fans and media don't do that. That's not their job. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, sometimes it's a little disservice, too, in terms of, you know, people think, oh, you should just win this game. If it's so easy, then we shouldn't practice that long or that hard. We shouldn't do the scouts, and we shouldn't have coaches in there watching film. And we're no different than any other coach for 10 hours. If it's so easy, then why do all the coaches do that? So it's a competitive world out there in athletics. So it's a good thing. That's what makes it fun.
Rob stepped up and hit 3, obviously the 3 at the end of the first half, or the end of regulation, which was the big one, but then 2 big ones after that in overtime. He's been erratic on that this year, but he certainly was prepared to take them when the time came.
Yeah, no doubt. Those are huge threes. They had huge free throws. You know, Rob made big plays. Jordaire made plays. Jordaire turned the ball over more than he did the last, I think, 11 minutes or maybe 16. I don't know if the overtime count. He had none. Right. And Austin was, I thought, really good offensively and defensive throughout the game. And it was good.
You talk about their resilience. George Mason had a possession late in regulation where they got 3 offensive rebounds. It turned out to be about a minute-long possession, which they finally scored on. But is that the kind of thing that can be
deflating? Yeah, deflating. I thought there were many times we could have deflated. Absolutely. And Mason just kept making big play after big play, and but we did not. Whatever, we didn't deflate. We kept mounting, you know, kept trying to do the next right thing. Just try to do the next right thing, and our guys did a great job of sticking with it.
What was the defensive approach there on George Mason's last possession? Were you yelling at Rob to
pray?
Pray.
Then you don't have to look at tape in that case.
Probably don't have to practice much either, right?
Do that, please. Go ahead.
Were you yelling at Rob to foul, not to foul? What were you trying to get?
If it was early, we were potentially going to foul. Yeah.
When you say early?
Well, we talked about it maybe a month ago or something like that. If someone's waiting for the last shot, I mean, you got no shot to win, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well be aggressive. So if you foul, you got a shot, at least in regulation.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't quite get that done, and worked out good. So.
What's going through your mind as you're standing there on the sideline watching George Mason pull down those offensive rebounds there at the end of regulation and then throw up that last shot?
You know, they got those in different ways. I mean, we rotated, and then obviously a big guy was on a small guy. Sometimes our big guys went over our big guys. Sometimes we just, I mean, it was a combination of a lot of different things. But they were certainly attacked. I think the first half, and I don't think they had many offensive rebounds first half, but most of their buckets were within 12 feet of the rim. So, I mean, they're strong, they're powerful, and they go at you.
Defensively, I mean, what does it say we got, they took 68 shots in the game, and they had 7 free throw attempts. They hardly got to the line at all. What do you take out of that, out of those numbers?
We played good defense and didn't foul. Of course, they hit well above 50, or not well above 50%, so that's not good defense. But one of our things is play good defense, play hard, and don't foul.
Jim, when the game gets to, when you get the last stop and the game gets to overtime, at that point, are you feeling like maybe you finally got some momentum?
No.
But you got the overtime with the crowd on your side, you made a little run, did you feel like maybe you dodged one there from the sense of getting 5 more minutes?
Not until the final buzzer did I feel like we dodged one. Not even close. They can turn quick.
Anybody else for Coach?
Nobody else? All right, guys.